All over the internet, you can find people who are using the journaling approach, morning pages. The idea behind this is when you wake up in the morning, first thing, you get out a notebook and you write just whatever comes to mind, all your worries, all your thoughts, all your fears, all the things you want to do for the day. It allows you to kind of collect your thoughts before you do anything else in the morning. And sometimes what comes out can be surprising. And you can come up with fresh ideas and you can kind of clear the air. And a lot of people say that it allows you to get a really good fresh start for your day, better than scrolling social media, better than just laying there and trying to go back to sleep. Now, I don't follow this exactly, but I have adapted the idea of morning pages into something that makes more sense for me personally. And so today I'm going to take you through my approach to morning pages and talk to you a little bit about how it has helped me. One of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel in the first place is to show folks who like to journal or who are thinking about journaling that there are so many different ways to do it, and you don't have to follow exactly what other people are doing. You can take bits and pieces of what they are showing you and what they've learned and apply it to your own life and your own schedule and your likes and dislikes and even the supplies that you have access to. You don't have to make your journaling look like my journaling or like anybody else's. It is something that you can benefit from if you enjoy doing it, and it can be whatever it looks like for you. So here is an example of how I have used that to work for me. Before I even started filming today, I decorated kind of the corners and edges of this page using some different washi tapes and stickers and even little bits of packaging that I had collected. The larger circles on this page came off of a new roll of washi tape that I was just starting out with. I have found that while I do like to leave a majority of the page open for writing because I do write a lot, I like to have some decorations, and it encourages me to use my stash. I have so many supplies that are just sitting around if I don't do this with my journal pages. So that's kind of where I start off, and I also really like the way that paragraphs look when I have them kind of winding around interesting shapes. So this is where I started. This book washi tape is really cute. I've been using it more and more. As you can see, I've started decorating even more. I did also write the date up at the top left. I do this pretty much every time I start, and how I write the heading tends to evolve over time, but this is pretty basic. I just want to know what day it was when I started writing. And I am using fountain pens for this particular spread. The notebook I'm using here is the B6 Slim Nanami Café note, and I love the way that fountain pens look on this Tomoe River paper. I believe it is the original Tomoe River paper. I don't have very much of it left, so I'm trying to enjoy it while I can, but just the act of writing on fountain pens with this paper is very relaxing to me, so it makes sense that I'm pairing this with a morning pages type approach for the day. This is the Benu Talisman with the ink Robert Oster Chocolate Pudding, and I have made a video about this particular pen and ink combination. It's one of my favorites. So I just start off by writing my thoughts, and I don't necessarily do this first thing in the morning. I have a lot going on in the morning, trying to get my kid to school, trying to get started with work. As soon as I end up getting a break where I can kind of refocus my thoughts, that's when I tend to do this journaling exercise. And on this particular day, I was a bit stressed out because we were about to go on a little trip and I had to tie up a lot of work things and get a lot of stuff packed. And it was just a little bit overwhelming. So I needed a moment to sit down and calm myself and remind myself that I can be productive and I can get things done, because I find sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, I get even less done because it's just, my brain is all over the place. And so this really helps me to narrow my focus and remind myself, hey, we can get a lot of work done today. I will be less stressed out if I get it done sooner. I don't normally pull in stamps when I'm doing kind of these more focused journaling sessions, especially when I have things I need to do, but since I was having trouble focusing and staying productive during a really busy week, this is kind of on brand for me, doing things that take more time and more effort so that I don't have to do something else. But don't worry, I ended up having a really good, focused, productive day after I did this. I think it did help in general. But I did have this stamp that is very cute and says super productive on it. It's from Everyday Explorers Co. They make my favorite clear stamps. And so I went ahead and just stamped this right in the middle, thinking it would inspire me, even if it took a couple extra minutes just to get out the supplies and put this down on the paper. And now we're back to writing out my own personal pep talk. That's kind of what I think of this as. I write down the things that I've already gotten done so I can feel good about some of my accomplishments, and then I write out the things that I want to get done for today. I want to make sure that I get done, but then also some things that if I'm really on top of things, I could also do these things, and then I could be ahead for tomorrow. It really is just kind of a stream of consciousness, but I put myself intentionally into this kind of positive mind space. And I think that's really what this is all about. It's an exercise where I can get out of whatever negative frame of mind I'm in. I'm switching over to one of my favorite fountain pens, the Kaweco AL Sport Vibrant Violet, using the ink Poussiere de Lune. It's a J. Herbin cartridge, and I love this pen and ink combination as well. It's really smooth and writes really nicely. And yeah, so here's where I'm talking about how I already started my laundry. That was a big thing for me because laundry is one of those tasks that literally piles up and it just adds stress to my life. And anytime I actually make the effort to pick up all the laundry and bring it down several flights of stairs, I feel good. Like I have taken a step forward. This is a big deal for me. It's one of those tasks that I put off by doing other things that I also don't want to do, but we got there. This next pen is the Conklin Duragraph. It's their limited edition rainbow, and it's so pretty. It's kind of a heavy, thicker pen, but it's just gorgeous. And the ink in here is one of my favorites. It's Diamine Syrah. It's this beautiful, dark, reddish wine ink, and it's so pretty. It has really lovely shading. Sometimes it writes out darker, sometimes it's lighter. I love it. It's beautiful to write with this medium nib. Mornings are noisy in our house. I have a kid. I get interrupted a lot, and so I wait until the kid has gone to school. I think the important thing about this exercise is that I'm not interrupted. I get a chance to really think through whatever it is that's just running around in my head, all the thoughts that are kind of taking over and distracting me. And it works out well for me. Honestly, I feel better when I do this. I really do. And I love the act of just sitting down and writing, so I think that helps a lot. I think the fact that I'm not just sitting down and writing, but I'm also getting those thoughts out and planning out my day and setting some goals just kind of puts me in a better frame of mind for the rest of the day. I find that it works for me. Have you ever tried anything like this? Is it something that you do regularly or just when you find that you need it, like I've been doing? And I'd love to hear about, do you have a specific notebook that you save for this, or do you just kind of put it in your regular journal like I've been doing here? I do have a few different journals, but I don't have one specifically dedicated to morning pages. When I first started doing this, I did have a separate notebook, but now I find that I just kind of put it all in this one because it's one that I really love. There are a lot of pages in this notebook too. It has 300 or 400 pages in it, so I have some space, and it makes me feel better, I think, in general, because it contributes. Lots of different types of journaling contribute to this journal filling up, and when my journal fills up, that makes me feel really good. I love seeing when I've gotten more than halfway through a journal and the pages are starting to bulk up because I've been adding all these stickers and things to them. And it's the tactile experience of it is really fun for me. I don't know what it is. Does that make you happy too? And then just to tie up the page, I did make a note here that I wrote out a more proper to-do list in my mini planner where I keep kind of all my creative tasks and home tasks that I need to get done. And this is my more rambly way of plotting out everything that I have to get done for the day, but I do have a more specific, organized method of making sure I get done everything I was supposed to before I leave on the trip. So that is how the page turned out, and then I get to go about my day with kind of a more focused mindset, more positive mindset, and hopefully it all works out, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to not be quite so hard on yourself, and I will see you next time, folks. And look how chunky and beautiful this notebook is. I love it so much.